Dana Point Harbor is one of South Orange County's most beloved locations. Boating, fishing, whale watching, and dining are just some of the many fun activities the harbor provides. But did you know that major changes are coming to the harbor?
My name's Antho, Mr. Hyperlocal, broker associate with Bullock Russell Real Estate Services. It's a quiet life here at Dana Point Harbor, and for 50 years the pleasures have been dependable. Now a redevelopment is happening, dubbed the Dana Point Harbor Revitalization. It will be a near complete overhaul of this very special place. So what changes can we local residents expect? Before we answer that, let's take a look at the history of this unique area.
This cove, once known as El Embarcadero, has been through many changes over time. The headland is formed of San Onofre breccia, a sedimentary rock formed more than 12 million years ago from eroding cliffs that were torn apart by tectonic movement. For perhaps 10,000 years, the Achachaman people lived in the area, with their closest village a mile and a half south at the mouth of nearby San Juan Creek. From the late 1700s to the mid-1800s, the Spanish and later Mexican ranchos produced cowhides. This cove was nearby to Mission San Juan Capistrano and thus named San Juan Cove.
Here's a statue of the drogger. The term comes from Dutch and means dryer, so called because the drogger ships were designed for fishing with a hull where the fish could dry out. Over time, the term became used for the shipping vessels that plied the California coast trading dried goods.
And it was here, from this bluff top, that workers threw the dried cowhides collected from the inland California ranchos to ships below to be taken to markets all around the world.
This trade in hides brought Richard Henry Dana, a harbor-trained lawyer, seaman, and author, to this very spot. In his book, 2 Years Before the Mast, published in 1840, Dana wrote that San Juan Cove was, and I quote, "the only romantic spot in California." Strong words.
In the late 1800s, the first map was published, changing the name from San Juan Point to Dana Point.
In the 1920s, Sidney Woodruff, the developer of Hollywoodland and the famous Hollywood sign, formed the Dana's Point Company to develop the area. Here on Santa Clara is his historic home. The company built an additional 36 homes, as well as some commercial buildings sprinkled throughout the Lantern Village. Woodruff and his business partners had big plans for Dana Point, including a 3-story bluff-top hotel with an elevator drilled down into the rock to take guests to the cove below. But the Great Depression caused them to abandon their plans, and today only these concrete arches and a rocky trail remain. After World War II, the area boomed, and Hobie Alter opened up one of the world's very first surf shops right here in Dana Point.
The cove was the site of the epic surf break Killer Dana, so named because the rocky shoreline would destroy any surfboard that washed upon it. The break was a long-lasting rite that could get massive. It also served as a great break for canoes and catamarans. Unfortunately for the surfers, the protruding point that made it such a great surf break also made it an ideal site for a marina. This photo was taken on the very last day of surfing Killer Dana. In August 1966, construction began. Princess Point at the foot of Amber Lantern was demolished, and a breakwater was constructed with rocks brought in from San Marcos and Catalina Island. Parts of the bay were filled in, and in 1971, the harbor was completed. This marked the end of an era of surfing and the start of decades of marine recreation. Boating, sailing, fishing, paddleboarding, kayaking, sunbathing, picnicking, and whale watching. At the site of the old Killer Dana surf break is the Ocean Institute. Founded in 1977 as the Orange County Marine Institute, it has served the public for decades with educational programs on marine science and maritime history. This newer building was constructed in 2002.
Many locals can remember the overnight educational program on board the Pilgrim, a replica boat of the original Pilgrim that Richard Henry Dana sailed upon. Unfortunately, it sank in 2020. However, pieces of it do remain displayed here on the grounds. Here's a little known fact about the Ocean Institute. In the late 1980s, a young man worked here as an educator. He was fascinated by marine science and also interested in art and animation. During his time here, he created an educational comic book called The Intertidal Zone with anthropomorphized sea creatures. The characters in this book would later be developed into one of the most successful television programs in American history. The young man, Steven Hillenburg. The television show, SpongeBob SquarePants. So why is the harbor being redeveloped? Well, 50 years of salty water and ocean breezes, so beneficial for the human spirit, have degraded the existing infrastructure, offering the opportunity to reimagine the harbor with a total redevelopment. So let's talk about that. The Orange County Board of Supervisors voted to create a public-private partnership, and they chose Dana Point Harbor Partners, LLC, to carry it out. The two parties entered a 66-year lease agreement in 2018. The redevelopment will alter nearly every facet of the harbor, with only Baby Beach and the Ocean Institute remaining unchanged. The company is an alliance of 3 firms.
Bellwether Financial Group will handle the docks, slips, dry boat storage, day boat parking, and launch ramp. Major changes will include fiberglass docks, electronic access, security cameras, fiber optic Wi-Fi integration, and smart pedestals. These changes will make Dana Point Harbor one of the most technologically advanced marinas in the world. Burnham Ward Properties will handle the retail, restaurants, offices, and most of the parking. There will be fresh landscaping, public art, a community museum, 3-story parking structure, and new restaurants ranging from grab and go to upscale fine dining.
And R.D. Olson Development will handle the hotels. The old Dana Point Marina Inn will be demolished to make way for a new 4-star hotel and a new 3-star hotel. We've been through changes. The memories made here in the Cove and later the harbor by millions of people are a priceless contribution to our collective human experience here in South Orange County. We've had generations of residents surf, paddle, sail, fish, and whale watch in this blessed place. Now we head into a new era to give fresh meaning to Dana Point's motto, harboring the good life.
Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something from this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends and family. Consider subscribing for more hyperlocal content and comment below with your favorite Dana Point Harbor memories. My name is Antho Zueck, Mr. Hyperlocal, broker associate with Bullock Russell Real Estate Services. Buy, sell, or lease. Nobody will work harder for you, your family, and your friends. So contact me today and put my knowledge and passion for Orange County to work for you. I'll see you around. You take care.